Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ministry of Wrestling with me, Double V Nico Luro, for your latest review for TNA Impact Wrestling. I would like to thank everyone for being patient while I've been away and also apologize for while I've been away. Just had my second kid, so for the last 2-3 weeks I've unfortunately had to be on a small hiatus, but Double V is back if you care. If you are a fan of TNA Impact Wrestling, then this is the channel for you. We review all the shows when I'm not on dad duty and all of the pay-per-views each and every single week, so please do be sure to like the video and smash that subscribe button so you never miss an episode of our TNA recaps, predictions and reviews. With all that said, I'd actually like to throw a massive shout out to TNA because listen, it's their 20th anniversary episode of TNA. Like, that's crazy to think this promotion has now been running for 20 damn years. 20 years of entertainment, and they put on great shows every week, great pay-per-views every month. They continue to do it over the course of 20 years, and above everything I want to thank TNA for listening to the fans and catering to the fans and responding accordingly when something is over or when something is not over. TNA has got a finger on the pulse of their fans, and I thank them for that. We start off with Con versus Jake something. That got the action started this week, so this was proper big slabs of man slapping meat stuff. Highlighted how freaking big Con is, because Jake something is not a small man, but he looked like it here. He really did not look like the world's biggest athlete next to Con. And look, Jake something, despite the size difference, landed the Into the Void and picked up the win. A cautionary warning I'd like to throw out to TNA on this one. If you want your big men to feel like a threat, they do have to actually win sometimes. Con is on a major losing streak, and he's a monster. But for us to see him as a monster, he really needs some W's. Look at Brian Cage in AEW. Does anyone ever really think that guy's going to win despite his impressive size? No. And it's the same thing here, so be careful with Con here, guys. And to that point, it actually gets worse for Con. Now, he's pissed about his loss. He goes for the neck snap on Jake something. And then Eric Young comes out to make the save. He disposes of Con like it's absolutely nothing. And then, here's the crazy part. He doesn't even acknowledge Con. He doesn't acknowledge the fact that he's just made the save. He kind of just starts cutting a promo on the last 20 years of TNA. Now, EY very much echoed what I said at the top of the show, which was thank you, TNA, thank you for being a great promotion, yada, yada, yada. All sentiments I share. But to do this off the back of just tossing Con out the ring like he's absolutely nothing after Con just lost, this really didn't make Con look good, man. So I warning TNA on this one. But we then had a really cool backstage segment with Kaz, King Kaz, who, now here's a crazy stat for you. Kaz main evented the original TNA show 20 years ago. And look at him here. The guy still looks like $1 million. He's basically explaining why he's going after Nick Nemeth, and that's a thing now when who should interrupt but the current best stable in wrestling, The System, who made a deal with him. Take out Nemeth, and you get a shot at the big one. You get a shot at Moose. They shook on this, and well, if you want to find out if that happened, well, you have to stay tuned until the end for me to reveal that to you. So, from this segment, we then had another backstage segment with Steph DeLander and the kind of ongoing will they, won't they, which was set up with PCO, I think 3 weeks ago. Now, when this first happened, on the back end of the Champions Challenger, I was a bit weirded out and lukewarm about it. And I'm moderately intrigued about will she say yes or no. This was relatively flat, the segment, until Xia Brookside, who isn't the world's best promo artist. You know, she's still quite green, but she interrupted, and she's clearly egging Steph DeLander, on and telling her how sweet it is. And, man, you know what? This segment, they actually won me over. They actually won me over with this. I can't believe I'm saying that. Dan, I want to see how this plays out. I'm not going to lie. I want to see how this plays out. It was slightly goofy, odd, but it was also pretty wholesome, and I couldn't help but smile. SDL told us she'll give us an answer next week, so that's a reason to tune in next week. So, color me pumped right here. Giselle then returns to TNA, which was, listen, great to see. Giselle, who we met at, I think it was, which event was it? The event in Newcastle last year when TNA came over. I think it was Bound for Glory. I may be wrong. But yeah, we met Giselle there. Absolutely lovely girl. Made tea for us. Had a chat and made tea for AJ and myself. But yeah, her opponent didn't even get an entrance here. So this was going to be a squash. During the match, it cut to the back with Gail Kim watching, who was the positive influence on getting Giselle back into the ring. Giselle defo has a new edge about her. She landed some power moves, hit the denouement, gets the win, and again, I'm intrigued to see about what they're going to do with Giselle moving forward. And I'll continue to ram home the fact that I believe the Knockouts division is the best women's division in all of professional wrestling. New Japan, AEW, WWE, I don't care. They're telling stories here with the women that don't even need to involve the title. And there's more than one of these stories going on. I know AEW have recently done the Chris Statlander stuff, but like, this is good, man. Like, keep pushing your women. And speaking of pushing the women, we cut from one women's segment straight to another women's segment, which again, something you don't really see in wrestling. But we cut to the back and we've got Rosemary doing a very cryptic video package. Now, I like the way it was shot, but being real, this was all a bit WTF. Like, it was, to quote Simon Miller, it was a bit of a nobody talks like that segment. They're clearly saying that they're going to come back for the gold without saying they're going to come back for the gold. So again, we'll let this one play out. But this was cool. This was shot well. Had fun with it. Mustafa Ali with Campaign Singh were then taking on the Mountain of Speed. Speedball Mountain were out next. Oh, were they? Are they? Where are they? Have I lost them? I'm sorry. There we go. Speedball Mountain were out next. And, yeah, no, sorry, hang on. Guys, I'm so sorry about this. Yeah, this segment. Frickin' Macklin and Santana. So this was actually really interesting because Santana isn't about that tag life anymore. I'm so sorry about that screw up there. Live recording, what do you want? Santana's not about that life anymore. And he wants to go on a solo run, but they've both got a vested interest in taking out the Rascals. So at Against All Odds, they're going to do a one-time only team up to take out the Rascals. They'll probably then split, have a feud together, and then Santana will go on to other things. That's kind of how I see it panning out. But yeah, we'll see how this one plays out. I'm interested to see how TNA use Santana effectively. Now coming back to my previous point, Mustafa Ali and Campaign Singh were then taking on the Mountain of Speed. And I had high hopes for this match. Trent Seven, who we've met at Rev Pro, really lovely, lovely guy. And this is part of the build-up to Trent Seven versus Ali at Against All Odds. Now, before even starting, I was thinking, okay, Speedball Mountain win, because all the love to Trent Seven, as I just said, Ali is not dropping to Trent Seven on the pay-per-view. And that's exactly what happened. There wasn't as much high-octane stuff as I thought there would be, considering you got Ali and Speedball Mike Bailey in this. I thought there'd just be a bit more oomph to this match, but yeah, it's fine. It was a safe 3-star setup match. Yeah, I just wanted a few more spots here. But anyway, it ended with a spot that I actually thought was super cool. So Trent Seven had Campaign Singh up on his shoulders. He's got Campaign Singh up on his shoulders. A lot of near falls in the match, and with one arm, he's holding Campaign Singh up. Mustafa Ali tries to get involved, and he kind of gives him kind of like a Matrix, come on then. It was great, man. While holding a large man up and saying to the other man, come on, let's have it, Ali backed off, and then Trent Seven lands the Burning Hammer. So yeah, it played out with the Mountain of Speed winning, and you just know Ali's winning at the pay-per-view on the back of this. He's not going to go tag team loss and then individual loss. Unfortunately, that's not how wrestling works. But that's fine. Ali should be holding the title for now, and long may that continue. Side note in relation to Speedball Mike Bailey, do stay tuned to the Ministry of Wrestling in the coming days, as we were on a press conference with TNA and had the chance to question Speedball Mike Bailey and PCO, which was loads of fun. So stay tuned to that in the coming days right here on the channel. Hit the like button. Sorry, hit the notification bell so you never miss tickling the bell here, aren't I? Shouldn't do that. Yeah, hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode and you get notified when that video goes up. So Ash by Elegance then came out. Lovely Ash by Elegance, friend of the channel. We've done an interview with her on the channel, which you can go and check out now. Ash by Elegance is out to keep a little beady eye on the goings on of one Jordan Grace, and she was actually defending the Knockouts title here. Oh, I should say Jordan's next title defense is basically Jordan's next victim. Now, this went a bit longer than I anticipated, but it ultimately went the way that it should go. Powerhouse display from the Juggernaut. After having had a bit of outside interference, she lands some big moves. She eventually hits the Juggernaut driver, and as should happen, Jordan Grace gets the win here. I think Ash by Elegance is going to take this from her, you know. TNA do that thing where, look at Nick Nemeth and Moose. They put this outsider into the title picture. Usually don't win right off the bat, and that's something I'll come back to later in the video. Ash by Elegance, they've kind of held off on putting her. Shouldn't do that with a woman. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Yeah, they've held off on Ash by Elegance going straight into the main title picture until now, and I think this is going to be the moment. Another weird segment followed here. Sami Callihan with one of his crazy kind of shaky cam DMTV segments. It wasn't for me, really, this segment. But listen, I get the appeal. It's properly goofy. I see why people would like this. And what was cool is it led to Sami calling out Jonathan Gresham. So that feud is going to continue. There will be retribution for the Ink. Laredo Kid and AJ Francis were out next for the Digital Media Championship. This was interesting. It's good to see the company continuing to push AJ Francis because, let's be real, he could have been buried as buried after what he went through with a certain Joe Hendry. And look, he came out and, wouldn't you know it, he actually got the win over Laredo Kid. So, man, it kind of surprised me that on, you know, a televised show, we have a new digital media champion in AJ Francis. Now, I appreciate this is lower tier belt, but still, man, title change on TV, that's always a good thing. Happy days for that. Now, is it just me? It is a question. Is it just me, or have Joe Hendry and AJ Francis become so intrinsically linked with Joe Hendry trolling AJ that when I see AJ, I'm anticipating it. Seeing AJ Francis without Joe Hendry is kind of like when you're about to sneeze and the sneeze doesn't come out. You're, where is it? You're like, where's Joe Hendry? He needs to be trolling him. Where is he? So this just felt weird to me not seeing Joe with AJ Francis. But yeah, hold that fire. We're going to come back to that because it was main event time next. Nick Nemeth against King Frankie. 20 years after he main evented the first Impact show, which, let's be real, it was just crazy that it's been 20 years since Frankie Kazarian started in Impact. Crazy. And also, let's be real, these two are absolute ring mechanics, man. This was always going to be great, and it was a brilliant display from the both of them. A few chicken wing attempts, and you know, Nick Nemeth lands the Danger Zone and rightfully gets the win, continue his momentum towards the pay-per-view with his brother. He gets the Danger Zone, gets the victory. So, no title shot for Frankie, as was set up earlier in the show, and the system continue to have a wanted man problem. So, could the Nemeth brothers really beat the system at Against All Odds? I actually think they might, you know. This would be a 2024 highlight feel-good moment, and I genuinely think we're going to get it. TNA is all about pleasing the fans in the potential fan-pleasing moments, and if they win the tag belts, this would really get you right in the feels, man. A brother tag team holding the belts, and it would be such a great story for Nick after what he's been through after being released so long with WWE. I love everything about this. The end segment that followed this, though, was genuinely fantastic. The system came out, they laid waste to the Nemeth brothers, and then, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. My guy Hendry, he came out, And then he in turn lays waste to the system. Fall away slam on Myers, fall away slam on Edwards, and then he picks up Moose. And as he's about to do a fall away slam on Moose, friend of the channel Alicia Edwards clocks him with a kendo stick, and then the system lay waste to Joe. This tells me one glorious thing, absolutely glorious thing. Moose is going to beat Broken Matt Hardy at Against All Odds, and Joe Hendry, whether he's next in line or further down the line, is going to beat Moose. He's going to have that title shot and he's going to win. And I think TNA are listening to the fans on this, and they're seeing how popular he is and how meteoric his rise has been. And, well, he's so well received. I can't stress this enough. This, like the Nemeth brothers winning the tag belts, is going to be a feel-good moment of the year. When it happens, I don't know, but I'm calling my shot now. Joe Hendry is going to beat Moose for the big one. Joe Hendry is going to be your world champion this year. I'm calling it. And look, I have to say, I loved everything about this show. It was fantastic, but it ended, as always, with the system, trust the system, standing tall, standing on top. You just can't mess with these guys, man. I'll say it every week. They are the wrestling stable in any company. They are the stable of the year. They're killer. They just lay waste to everyone. So this, considering we're like, a week out now from Against All Odds, this was a fantastic episode of TNA Impact. Loved everything about it. I want to know what you guys thought. What do you think of the angles? Where do you think we're going with the world title? Do you think the Nemeth brothers are going to win? Leave all your thoughts in your comments down below. I'm pumped. But yeah, I've missed you guys. I'm glad to be back. And it's now time for me to say adieu, bang, good night, and all of that goodness. And please subscribe right here, watch another video here, stay tuned for more TNA stuff coming in the coming weeks. We've got an interview with Austin Aries, and we've also got that press conference tour I told you about, which we're on. So yeah, keep tuned to all of that goodness, and we will see you right here on the Ministry of Wrestling. Bye for now.